you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out RV Daydream. Today I want to talk about an addition I'm making to the truck. Yeah, another addition. And we're going to go over some other things that I've already done on the truck, which, man, thank God that I'm getting this stuff done. So what I've alluded to earlier on my video was that I was going to do some tow mirror information. And on these Ford trucks, the mirrors are, for the most part, the same. There is some slight differences, and that'll come into play with what I want to tell you. But basically, what I got going on here is basic mirrors that came on the majority of the trucks. There's the mirror that I have. You can see there's some rust starting up here. I'm going to have to fix that. But they do retract whenever you get close to something, and they kind of have a position that they go to lock in. But you can see the view. If I lean a little bit, I can basically see the truck. And I have it kind of pointed at the ground. That's because I haven't got my little spot mirrors yet. I usually have some tiny spot mirrors that are here that are adjustable. I got to locate the ones that I want because the adjustable ones they have now are kind of big. And then if we look over at this mirror, you can kind of see possibly, if I lean back just a little bit, you can see what that looks like. So that's the view that I have, and honestly I can't see as much as I need to whenever I've got the trailer hooked up. I bought some towing mirrors, so let's go take a look at them. And of course I couldn't leave well enough alone. I had to modify them to fit the way that they should fit. I have some photos here I'm going to show you of the mirrors and what they used to look like whenever I first got them. And there was a couple things that I didn't like. They fit on the mirrors relatively tight, and when you snug down the plastic bolts, yeah, they're plastic, they didn't quite push on the mirror the correct way. And also they kind of wanted to move around a little bit on the mirror, and I wanted to secure it a little bit better. Now I'm going to tell you that you don't have to do these modifications. These towing mirrors will slip over your factory mirrors if you've got them that look like mine, which I'll show you a couple of photos of the actual shape of the mirror, and they'll work fine. There won't be any problems. But let's go ahead and look at the modifications I had to make. Look at the photos here. You can see the modifications that I need to make on the bolts and how the angle wasn't quite right, so I just crudely put them on my grinding stone and went ahead and just knocked them down and put a different angle on them because they were definitely, they stood up too far and they were pushing in on the mirror. Now going to the mirrors, you can see the rubber that I had to cut here and how I just duplicated the pattern. They're not very long. They just go in the mirror quite a ways. And then of course I've got some really good rubber cement, or cement, contact cement. I shouldn't say rubber cement, it's contact cement. But it does act like rubber cement, and it does a really good job, especially whenever you're doing rubber. This is what the final product looks like. You see there's a little bit of glue out of there, but this will allow it to slip on the mirror and grab hold of the mirror relatively tight, because that rubber, of course, wants to hold on a little bit better than the hard plastic, and it also helps with vibration. So the nice thing doing the rubber on both sides is you don't have to worry about if it's the right side or left side, because these things are symmetrical. So we'll go ahead and slide these on. And you can see right when it gets to that point, you gotta kind of give it one little more oomph, and then at this point they're on pretty tight. But of course the bolt will make it even more tight. And you can see now why I took down and made a different angle on that foot, because it just wasn't quite lining up. It was pointed out like this. So anyways, now that that's pushing correctly, I can start this screw. And again, this is all plastic, so you don't have to go crazy with it, but it is a good idea to get it tight enough that it doesn't feel like it's going to vibrate off. And that's it. I mean, that's spectacular. It adds quite a bit of length here on the mirror, which I'll show you what those shots look like. So now you can see they're connected, and how much more of an angle I've got with that extra little mirror that's there. That makes quite a bit of difference. Then this one here is a little bit strange, because the factory mirror, you know, the one that says objects are closer than they appear, the optics aren't the same in the outer mirror. So There's a little bit of getting used to with that one there, but overall I think the view is going to be spectacular because, again, I'll be able to see down the side of the camper more. There was a little bit of modification that I had to do to make it more personalized for me, but pretty decent mirrors. We'll see how it works, and I'll give you an update later down the road. Now, I do want to show you something else I did on the truck, and that's underneath the hood, and it's the new plug wires. You can see here. They're plenty long enough, and they're 8.5 millimeter. They're really thick. They give you number rings for all your plug wires, heavy duty cap, and most importantly, I got my 6A box in here. It fit exactly like the old one, so not a big deal. I figured that was going to be a nice easy fix. So the checklist that I have for the truck slowly getting done. We're going to be going camping, looks like next week, so in about 5 days, 6 days here. We're just going to be doing a short, small trip to our standby, and I still have to get the mopeds out and clean them up. So the next thing I got to do to the truck is I've got new headlights coming and I have new taillights coming, and I'm talking about the assembly. It's Saturday in Ohio. It's 44 degrees, 45 degrees. It's going to get up to 50 something today, but it's a colder day considering that it is April 23rd, something like that. Anyways, all I know, it's Saturday, and I had a next day or Saturday delivery coming, and I also had a delivery coming from the post office that I didn't know about. And this goes along with some of the repairs that I need to make. I've got tail lights for my truck, and I've got a jack for the trailer. What happened was I got rid of my brother's camper for him as far as bringing it to somebody else's house. He needed to get it out of this location and get it closer to him so he could do a little bit of work on it. The bad part about that was I forgot how heavy those campers were, and you'll see here I'm a little bit ginger. I forgot that those things weigh like 2,400 pounds, so the tongue weight's like 240 pounds, and I didn't bother cranking it. I just lifted it up and set it on our tractor, and then I kind of worked the tractor out. You can see the tractor got stuck because I was trying to pull it forward. I had to back it up finally, and I jockeyed it out. And then I had the truck parked in the driveway. I was trying to lift the trailer onto the hitch, and it wasn't getting lined up quite right, and it had to do with the way the wheel chalk was. It wasn't allowing me to move it, so I had to move the wheel chalk, and then, of course, I'd set it down before I moved the wheel chalk, and then I came back and I lifted it and tried to make it up on the hitch, and it didn't get there, and so then I set it back down and I moved the wheel chalk again, and anyways, it came out to where I lifted the thing about 5 times right in a row, and again, I didn't realize it was like 240 pounds, so my back's really stiff today. It was stiff, started to get stiff last night and yesterday. I'm just definitely getting older. I used to be able to lift that stuff no problems. It's kind of strange feeling. So what I'm going to do is first pop these taillights in. It's not going to be a step-by-step or anything like that. And then we'll address that tongue jack, but that's going to be on a separate video, and I'm going to show you what it looks like once it's on or once it's going on. But the one thing about the tongue jack I think I'm going to have an issue with that I don't really care for is when the truck is hooked up, I can lower my tailgate. With the new electric tongue jack, I seriously doubt that's going to be the case because, well, just because it's bigger. It's got a motor on it and it's wider, so we'll come across that bridge when we get there. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to open my garage up and start all this little journey. Whenever I got this truck, I noticed that the tail lights, I couldn't get them polished up. They're scratched up. There's nothing wrong with them, but they do hold moisture occasionally inside, and I don't care for that either. So what I'm going to do is replace the taillight lenses. They're not expensive. It's like $25 for a pair of new taillight lenses, and I didn't want to spend any more time than I did on trying to get that moisture to be out of them. I ordered these, and they came relatively quick. I was surprised. Company called Eagle Eye or something. Eagle Eyes, maybe that's it. Real basic. Let's get them out of the package here. And there we are, nice and shiny. I'm going to show you the simplest repair probably you can make on this truck. So let me set up the camera. So there's supposed to be 2 screws here, and I can see that I'm missing one on each side, so I'm going to have to address that, but this is all it takes for these trucks. Put the tailgate down, just drop that screw out. There's a couple screws on this other side here. Pull those out, see, they're there, and then that's it. I just twist these out, and I'm going to wipe the bulbs off real well because they're a little dusty, and there's the taillight. So there they are installed, a little shinier, a little brighter. Had to put a couple new bulbs in there because the bulbs that were currently in there were getting pretty black just from discoloration from heat. So let's see what these things look like now. Okay, so now I've got to start addressing that tongue jack. So I'm going to leave you guys be. Again, that trailer tongue jack deal, I'm going to do a full-blown install review type situation on that for RV Daydream. I really don't like to clutter up RV Daydream with those kind of videos, but I really think that the crowd will enjoy it more coming from that channel than my other channel. So let's jump into that. And as far as today's concerned, I'm done, and I hope to see you guys out there. Bye.